Welcome to HICGI News Agency.
HICGI News Agency Live. Welcome.
Agency, HICGI News Agency.
This is HICGI News Agency.
News Agency. This is HICGI News Agency.
News Agency Live.
We are live. HICGI News Agency. This is HICGI News Agency.
Welcome to the senior citizens talk of HICGI News Agency. All viewers from all over the world, from Darfur, Sudan, where the guns are still active and people continue to die, and to Gaza in the Middle East, where they're trying to pave a way for a peace settlement plan with the nation of Israel. Several powers this week are saying that they would support the Palestinian recognition as a state over concerns that people are continuing to die in Gaza. But of course, the United States is playing a very vital role. And then to Russia, where we're seeing developments of Vladimir Putin is likely to meet Donald J. Trump to see a long-lasting peace, if it's gonna happen in Ukraine. My name is Chivumbi Ernest Benjamin. Subscribe to our channel, all our viewers. You can just subscribe and also activate your notification bell. When we talk about the history of Uganda last time, we were trying to see several leaders who been presidents of this country and where this country has come from. My colleague earlier, Anastasis Gordon Sekandi, interviewed Professor Ndinawe Byekwaso, a lecturer from Ndege University, Public Administration. Professor, you're most welcome.
You're also welcome. I'm privileged to be here to talk on your platform.
Thank you, Professor. And we would like to appreciate what's been happening since the last time we hosted you.
Yeah, I will continue where I began. But before I continue where I left, you have brought something very interesting, which is international, and I'm a person who is also interested in analyzing what is happening in the world. You have talked about what is happening in Gaza. Personally, what I'm seeing, there is genocide going on. And genocide, wherever it has taken place, it uses a combination of slaughter, a combination of starvation, and a combination of diseases.
Wow.
I'm seeing that's what took place in America. If you don't know, genocide is founded in America. It used slaughter, diseases, and even starvation.
When was that?
It's around the 16th, 17th century. You are not aware of that?
I wasn't aware.
Actually, there used to be people known as Iroquois, and they settled in the present New York. They were as centralized as Uganda.
Yeah.
Where New York is, that's where there used to be a tribe known as Iroquois, and they were exterminated using starvation, disease, and slaughter. Now, what is happening, what you are talking about in Gaza, genocide has already taken place. They are playing a game that they are recognizing Palestinian state when the people are no longer there. And when France talks, Canada talks, they are not different from Americans. They are the same.
Oh.
So they are playing the game that recognize the state when the people are no longer there.
When the people are no longer there.
They are almost eliminated. So what do you recognize of the state about? Then you talk about the game between Trump and Putin. Both are people of the same feathers. I'm sorry to mention this. Putin is a killer. Trump, I don't know how much, but what I know is unconventional and doing things which do not make sense. But anyway, that one would be for another day.
Mm.
Let me come back to Uganda.
Yes.
I'm talking about this history of Uganda.
Mm.
I studied political science. Thank you, the other thing. I worked for a political organization, NRM, for 18 years.
18 years.
I was teaching at Shankwanzi and at the same time working as a research officer at the NRM Secretariat.
You were teaching in Chankwanzi?
Yes. And
Okay.
then a research officer, what you call a political research officer, at the defunct NRM Secretariat, which ended around 2006.
Okay.
And I have taught political science for the last 13 years.
For the last 13 years.
Political science and public administration for the last 13 years. So what I'm talking about, I'm sure. So the last time I talked about, I analyzed Obote 1, then a minister regime, then Obote 2. I ended up by touching slightly on the coming of President Museveni. And I remember I ended by saying, when Museveni came, he was hugely popular, very popular.
Very popular. Like at what percentage? Like how we see Rwanda, Kagame getting 97%?
I want to, because I did not carry out what? The census by then. We can only use indicators. He never used to have this convoy you were seeing.
Oh.
He would move with about 3 or 4 escorts.
3 or 4.
When he would be going to Ruwero, you would not see this convoy he has today. So, but the popularity was mainly in the south, please. So when we talk about popularity, it was very hugely popular. Nobody will talk against President Museveni. And when we talk about President Museveni, maybe you would not talk. And that is why the old political parties were demonized. I am teaching at the political school. I remember campaigning against the political parties. And the reason why it was very popular is simple. Politics which was introduced towards independence were very divisive. People were divided against religion and even this ethnicity. And I remember I told you, I come from Western Uganda. I know how Catholics were fighting against Protestants based on DP and UPC. Houses were being destroyed, brothers fighting each other, and not seeing eye to eye, they were divided. So when Museveni came with his NRM and with his ideology of no party, then people were very, very, very happy. Even up to now, because of that. Because of NRM came without based on religion. That's why NRM people, when they are in Western Uganda, they are fighting the flag bearer to be flag bearer of NRM.
I see.
If you don't understand the politics, why the people in Western Uganda are fighting for the flag bearer of NRM, it is the history of NRM. It came and removed those differences of UPC, people of UPC who were mainly Protestants fighting Catholics, who were mainly of DP. So because of that, he became very popular. But as he was being popular, little did we know that he was going to implement the policies of Western governments led by IMF and World Bank. And I didn't know that the war which was taking place in Uganda, especially northern Uganda, LRA, was in line of Western modernization theory of development. Do you know what it means? Western modernization model of development, which appropriately I call it barbarism, means displacing the people from their means of subsistence and therefore impoverishing them, as well as promoting conflicts within society. When there is a conflict, then they say there is development, according to Hobbes and even Karl Marx, I have reviewed, and even Machiavelli. He says people are ever conflicting with each other, that the role of people in society are to conflict with each other. And when there is conflict, according to Karl Marx, then there is development. So what was happening in northern Uganda is that people were being massacred.
And I saw that headlines every day.
And actually, by the time we were still at the NRM Secretariat, the news is that would come up. You would hear the RA, about 200 have been killed. And corpses would be shown lying down.
Global Logistics Limited, your number one customs clearing and forwarding cargo consolidation warehouse company. We do air shipment, worldwide sea shipment, transportation, tax consultation. Global Logistics Limited is a competent company specializing in logistics clearing and forwarding services. We have the necessary skills and resources and partnerships to tackle sizable projects to our clients' satisfaction. We are located at Mganzaraza Plaza near the entrance of Katwe, Kampala, Uganda. Call us on +256 779 634 328 or +256 701 784 648 or visit our website glovylogistics.com or write to johnglovy@gmail.com. Glovy Logistics Limited, your number one clearing and forwarding company.
In line with modernization, because they want to see people suffering as a game of suffering of amusement. So when we're showing corpses lying somewhere where we're being massacred, and then our president is saying, we have massacred them, we shall massacre them. It was in line. And then after when NRM was very popular in the south, the people in northern Uganda were suffering. People, their noses, ears were being cut.
I saw that. Boiled in pots.
And boiled in pots. And then the people were removed from their traditional families and they were living in camps. And that's what happened in America, by the way, in Britain, when they so-called during the land enclosure. People being removed from their homes and sent to live in squalid camps. This is what happened during the land enclosure movement, especially during the Scottish clearance. People were removed from their land in rural areas and sent to live in the camps. And this is what was repeated here in Uganda for us when we were seeing. We think what was happening was not in line of modernization, theory of development. I have had the chance of reading this history. So it was in line. I am still up to now wondering why Konyi was never captured.
You are concerned.
How could he fail? When I know President Museveni being supported by America because he was in good books, he was being praised as a new breed of African leaders together with Kagame and what? He was saying he was the most popular person. Why America with its espionage could fail to trace?
I think Clinton, Bush, and lastly Obama sent 100 soldiers into the Central Africa to look for him. We don't know if they're still there.
I know what they sent him. When Konyi was terrorizing the people in northern Uganda, and even bring what? Towards the end, there was a peace agreement which was negotiated between him using this Betty Gombe.
Betty Gombe.
Before it was implemented, then Konyi shifted from northern Uganda and went to Central Africa to go and fight the tradition, destroy the traditional society of the people. I have forgotten their name. They are settled both in Central Africa and Zaire and even Sudan, they had a traditional setting which had not been stabilized. These are Zendi.
Zendi.
Yeah, the Zendi tribe. They are settled in 3 countries. So Kony had gone there. I happened to interview somebody who was in Central African Republic. He was a soldier. He used to live here. I had the chance of living him. His name I don't know. I have not asked him for his permission. But he told me, Kony, they knew what was happening. These Western governments knew what was happening. They wanted to go and stabilize the traditional society. When he would kill people, some people, then they would call the king, they call them the kings of those areas, to displace the people from the areas so that they are saving them from Kony. Kumbe, they are displacing them from their means of subsistence and destabilizing the traditional society. So, anyway, coming back, I come back to Uganda. I'm saying what was happening in northern Uganda, for us, we didn't know, was in the line of Western modernization model of development. And that's why, for us, we're enjoying here what we talk about peace. Actually, those people were suffering. And as we were enjoying, which I have come to learn, then came ADF. Where it came from, we can't know. Who supported it, we can't know. But at now we have learned that ADF is part of ICC.
Yeah.
Which, according to what I saw in the press, were being sponsored by this man. This man, but now he's forgetting. Bill Gates.
Seriously.
Even when we talk about, even we talk Al-Shabaab, even Trump now has made it open that you said was being used to support Al-Shabaab and even this war in Afghanistan. So, yes.
Wow.
No, it comes out. Said that you said was used to sponsor terrorists in Afghanistan by Trump himself. I don't know why he's revealing it. But no, up to now, I don't know. This is the man they call Mukuru. Mukuru.
Mukula. Is it Mukulu?
Mukuru.
Of ADF.
ADF, Mukura. Who was captured up to now, I don't know why he has never been tried. But one time I heard he threatened to reveal the secrets. But no, let us, when we talk about Enani Museveni being popular, he was only popular in southern Uganda, and still in southern Uganda, the peace was interrupted by ADF. Now, coming back, I've talked about this, what you talk about, terrorism and war. Now, I want to come back to economic policies. And unfortunately, fortunately, I usually talk to some people who criticize Museveni. I have failed to get a nationalist or a revolutionist like me who criticize Museveni objectively.
Oh.
Those people who criticize Museveni, I see they criticize him as an individual, not his policies. And even I'm disappointed by Ugandans, even those at the university. When you talk about policy, they don't understand.
They don't understand.
Policy to them means bringing a person, well, a leader, and putting him in place. And when you change a leader, then you have changed the policy. This is an academic and being intellectually myopic. When Museveni had come, he talked about ideology. And he says, politics without ideology are useless. I personally have stuck to ideology. An ideology is a vision of what you want to achieve accompanied by its implementation strategies.
Absolutely.
Now, for me, I used to be, at least appropriately, it is the ideology of nationalism. Nationalism is an ideology which wants the resources of the country to be exploited for the benefit of the nationals.
For the benefit of the nationals.
Yes, the people. Because a government which does not promote and protect the people from foreign harmful products is almost useless.
Oh.
Because the government is supposed to exist in order to serve the interests of its people.
For more than 10 years, Keb International Group has been your number one partner in tours and travel consultancy. We also do real estate, legal services, ICT services, and much more. Find us on kebinternationalgroup.com or write to us at info@kebinternationalgroup.com. You may also write to us at PO Box 35827 Kampala, Uganda, or visit us on Namaswahi off Entebbe Highway. Call us on +256 200937566 or +256 3948632 or 46. Or you can send us a plus on WhatsApp on +256 752 1375 66. Keb International Group, your number one real business partner.
Now, this is where Museveni got it wrong.
Where and how
When he came,
and what exactly?
when he came to power, at first he was opposed to the IMF and World Bank policies, and he was calling those people who were going to implement its policies as enemies, especially liberalizing the use of foreign exchange. He says those are the enemies of Africa. I can quote it from the 10-point program. These are the enemies of Africa who does not deserve any listening or discussion. But when he came, after some time, 2 years, no, 1 year, when he was criticizing them, then he negotiated with World Bank and the IMF for foreign exchange reform. And that's where things started. Foreign exchange reform and the economy. First of all, there was currency reform.
People complained that they lost money.
Actually, money was stolen. So, currency reform, which they said they removed 2 zeros. And then it was accompanied by, is it a 40% or something? 40% tax reform. If I'm mistaken, it can be between 30 to 40%. If I'm not mistaken, I will not be exact, but I know it is either 30. I've forgotten. Just semester of cross checking. The 30%. How do you tax money which you have not earned? Idea. According to what I know, taxation should tax the people the money they have earned. Then how do you earn tax money which was not earned? And I know that one was negotiated with the donors. So the donors, the IMF, supervised the cheating of Ugandans. And that system started the system of impoverishing Ugandans.
Okay.
Now, you have removed 30%. Then you can 30%. Free of charge. Stolen from the people. That's withdrawing money from the people. So he started the policy of withdrawing money so that money becomes scarce. And then it was followed by devaluation of the shilling.
Lost. I had at one time the Ghanaian shillings was like US dollar was 1,500.
Was it 1,500? I remember in 1990 they went to Zimbabwe. But, no.
But now it is at 3,800.
I know by the time.
It was very strong. Our currency was strong.
Very strong. Very strong. But by 1991, when the liberalization of the economy was undertaken, it had deteriorated it by 19 times. Its value continuously was losing. I have published an article which was published in an international journal. I did a research. I showed how peasants actually lost the money they were getting from their produce, what they were selling, declined in price. While what was being bought in the market became expensive. So people had to sell more in order to buy the same items they used to purchase with the same value of the shilling.
Oh.
So that you find that the people would buy less using the same one because the value of their produce became less.
Like how we saw in Zimbabwe, whereby you had to carry a wheelbarrow of money to go and buy bread.
That one is inflation, but this one I'm talking about the effects of devaluation.
Devaluation.
It means the depreciation of the local currency.
Okay.
It depreciates against the mighty US dollar. So which means now the money you get from what you produce at home will buy less of the goods which are imported. I don't know whether I have been understood.
Yes, I've got it.
Because your money has lost value, then you will need more money to buy goods which are imported using the dollar. And yet the money has lost, your products have lost value. But anyway, I don't want to go much into economics. Then in 1991, he embarked on the policy of two policies, gradual policies. One was abrupt liberalization of the economy. Let things work out themselves, that you don't need to plan in order to develop. That was to Museveni Museveni. I attacked on the radio one time and he almost arrested me. I attacked him on the CBS, he almost arrested me. He said, I told him, I talked on the radio that I don't respect the policies of Museveni Museveni at all. And I repeated it. He almost arrested me because at one time I was coming home. A student from Ndede said he wanted that I was supervising her and he wanted to look for me in a place where I usually sit. I said, I wanted to go and see her, but then later, I changed my mind. Why do you come and look for me to supervise you at my place, at my desk? I said, no. I switched off the phone. The next time on Monday, I talked to some people because I used to work in the United Secretary. He said, you are still free? He said, I'm still free. You were not arrested. They wanted to arrest me on weekend. And then they released me on Friday and then released me on Monday, having threatened me. But you know, the issue was that the policy of liberalization.
May he so rest in peace.
May he so rest in peace, which was pursued by the government of Nigeria, caused a lot of things. One, it caused price fluctuations. And the prices would go so low to ruinous price. There's one time when the price of maize went as low as 30 shillings.
30 shillings.
And yet the price of goods imported from the market kept on rising. And even coffee, at first, by the way, it has been there. At first, it rose in price, I think, 1997.
The power of memories has never been so meaningful than when time passes by. It's only in photography and videography that we can be able to tell what exactly happened in our lives. Do not lose the beautiful events of your life, from graduation to birthday parties, introduction ceremonies, parties that matter, wedding. All this and much more can be brought down into memories of photography and videography. At KEB International Group, we understand what it means to keep these memories. We're inviting you today to contact us for the best rates in town for your photography and videography events. +256 702 13 75 66 or +256 773 13 75 66. We will cover and reach you at any time, any part of the world. No matter the time, we are here to keep your memories alive. Okay. videography and photography, your number one events memories.
It went high, and the government imposed what they call a stabilization tax.
Stabilization. What was it intended for?
That the price of coffee has become so high, and that therefore, in order, I don't know whether they were saving farmers, I don't know. They imposed on a tax on them. Can you imagine? Now, in 2002, I have heard the price of the same price of coffee went very down, too much to the extent that the people could not impeach. That was a
Is there a reason people abandoned coffee?
They almost abandoned
Because it has just come back.
It just came back. And now, instead of the government stabilizing, the government kept quiet. While it had imposed a stabilization cost stabilization tax, now it kept quiet, and the people were impoverished. This thing continued the impoverishment of the world. Then there was this policy, what they talked about, so macroeconomic stabilization, which have been writing books, and very many people do not know. When I talk about the neoliberal reform, people do not understand. But what they understand are structural adjustment programs. Structural adjustment programs is almost like the neoliberal reform or simply macroeconomic stabilization. It was meant for sucking the money from the economy, withdrawing money from the economy and limiting its saturation in the economy.
The Senior Citizens Talk is brought to you by Africa at Heart, Heal the Planet Global Organization, HICGI News Agency. Subscribe right now to get our latest updates sent every single Sunday. Don't forget also the Talk to the World show that is running every Thursday at 4 p.m. Subscribe here on YouTube and make your notification bell right here. HICGI News Agency. Visit us on HICGINewsagency.com and find us on all social media platforms on X, call it Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. HICGI News Agency. Subscribe now.